back. The Herd is coming up next here on FS1. Let's head over to Colin Cowherd. Colin, what's on the show today?
Oh, Russell Westbrook. I know I'm picking on him. So I'm going to have to pick on him a little more. But I won't pick on Baker Mayfield today. I know those guys over there like Baker Mayfield. I had an interesting dinner last night with an NFL executive. They like Baker Mayfield too. That's coming up.
Thanks, Colin. Time for our final topic of the day. Blake Griffin played over 7 seasons with the Clippers, but it looks like he has no regrets about leaving L.A. Blake praised his new team, the Pistons, saying, quote, "Coming here made me realize what a franchise looks like. The way they do things, everything is first class." Shannon, what do you make of this?
But you didn't go to Detroit on your own free will. You were traded. And if the Clippers were so bad, why would you sign that 5-year extension? And an owner in Steve Ballmer that's $38 billion, spend limitless. But I get it, Skip. When you get traded, it leaves a sour taste in your mouth because that team that traded you is basically saying, we're better off without you, or we want to go in a different direction. And Blake is still bitter. They didn't trade him to New York. They didn't trade him to L.A. They traded him to Detroit. And he's bitter about that, Skip. Let's make no mistake about that.
So he made himself look even more foolish with these comments yesterday. And I thought Vince Carter made him look very foolish the other night. Did you see Vince making fun of Blake for flopping? Could we see that? Oh, that's it. That's what a lot of the players think of Blake Griffin. He's soft. He looks the part.
Yeah.
Sometimes he plays the part, but he doesn't really act the part, right? And this was like a soft comment because it's just a weak, lame comment because everybody knows it's just a sour grapes comment.
Yes.
Because, come on, Detroit's the model franchise compared to
Really?
the Clippers? Really?
And I get it. Steve Ballmer will spend. He's made it abundantly clear, Skip. He's trying to field a winner. So much so that he's going to fund his own arena. He said, I'm getting out of the shadows of the Lakers. I'm going to be doing my own thing. Why would you? I know, 5 years, $173 million. You don't care what type of franchise it is, as long as you get that paper. But they traded you. They traded you to Detroit. Now you want to praise where you are. Like every frog praises his own pond, Joey. We understand that. He's in Detroit now. You didn't know that, Skip.
I didn't.
Damn
I
frog.
that one.
Oh, man, I got the bluest water, the greatest fish over here. He praising his pond. Yeah, that's because somebody put you in that pond. You didn't leave on your own free will, Blake. I see what you're doing. I got glasses just so I can see stuff y'all be saying.
That's it for us. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9:30 Eastern. Right now, Colin Cowherd tells you why Russell Westbrook is to blame for the Thunder's loss last night. The Herd starts now.
Skip ain't no exec, Colin.
This is The Herd. Wherever you may be, and however you may be listening. Live in Los Angeles, iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, FS1, wet and rainy Los Angeles. Pro Day, Sam Darnold today, who will be the #1 pick. We'll go live to that Pro Day next hour and the hour after that with Joel Klatt, Matt Leinart. Christine Leahy is, of course, joining me.
You really have to start the day with something about Westbrook. It's
Well,
not
he's
positive.
very popular. The kids love him.
I love him. I'm not a kid.
Well, you're fairly young. You're youthful.
Not really. I'm youthful, but, you know.
So I want to start with this. I have always said point guards in the NBA are quarterbacks. That's why when people say, oh, Anthony Davis is going to take over the league, I always say, well, does he have his hands on the ball late? Is he controlling tempo? In the NFL, I overwhelmingly talk about quarterbacks. Why? Because there's 70 snaps a game for an offense, and they're the only guy that touches it every time. And I've said this. I'm very tough on quarterbacks because they not only have the ball, they call the plays, they control the tempo, they have the keys to winning games, especially late. Not a pass rusher, not a safety, not a Mike linebacker, not a slot receiver, not a left tackle. Quarterbacks should get the love, the money, and the criticism. Similar for point guards. Okay, the tempo. There's more possessions ever in the NBA. I don't care about wings. I don't care about bigs. Bigs aren't even playing on the floor with 3 minutes left because most of them can't hit a free throw outside of Karl Anthony Towns. Point guards dictate tempo, and when games get late, 2 minutes, 3 minutes left, I'm going to blame you or give you love if you're a point guard. So let me set the table for you. Oklahoma City played Boston last night. Gordon Hayward's been out for the year, and Kyrie Irving was out. This is a layup, right, for OKC. Okay, it's a layup. They should have won the game. But they are on the road. Brad Stevens is good, blah, blah, blah. And Boston plays defense. Oklahoma City is up 95-92. And they have the ball. So they're up 3. They have the ball. There's a minute left. They have the MVP, Russell Westbrook's their quarterback/point guard. So now think about this. You got the ball. All you got to do, waste some clock, drive, get fouled, take a good shot. What does he do here? Never passes. And what is the one thing he shouldn't do? Jack a deep 3. Now, he gets saved by a foul on the Celtics, so Steven Adams hits 1 free throw. But that 1 point's the difference. If you would have asked Boston what they wanted Westbrook to do there, it would have been, shoot a lousy 3. Russell Westbrook is the lowest rated three-point shooter in the league. Here's what Westbrook does really well. Drive. You can't stop him. Get fouled often and hit free throws. So here is a 10-year starting quarterback/point guard. There's a minute left. You lead by 3. You don't even have to be a basketball savant to figure out drive, get fouled, or settle for a really, really good shot with 1 or 2 or 3 seconds on the clock. No. Never passes. Takes the lowest percentage shot currently in the NBA. The lowest percentage shot in the NBA right now is a Russell Westbrook 3. That's the lowest, not a free throw, not a jumper. The lowest rated shot in the NBA right now is a Russell Westbrook 3. And he takes a long 3 with a guy on him. That's why I criticize Westbrook. 10 years in the league. You can blame Melo for this loss because he missed free throws. By the way, Steven Adams missed 1. Westbrook missed 1. The Melo free throw should have never mattered. If Westbrook drives and gets fouled, which he is prone to do, he's a career 80% free throw shooter. Game over. Minute left. OKC by 5 because Boston came down and missed their next shot. What is playoff basketball? It's not running and gunning. It's not dunks. It is slow down, half-court, situational basketball. That's why Brad Stevens is a really valuable coach, because he's a great half-court offensive coach. Last night, without Hayward, without Kyrie Irving, you've got the MVP, Melo, Paul George, Steven Adams, 3-point lead, minute left. That is what you settled for. Go ahead, blame Melo. But I'm not going to blame the wide receiver for a loss with a minute left in the football game. That is on the quarterback. And that is exactly what drives me crazy. The announcers, it should be noted, the announcers were critical of him. I mean, you got to give the announcers credit. They spotted it too.
Yeah, Adams bailed out a tough shot by Russell Westbrook there. Rick, you kind of looked at me on that shot. It was a long one.
Well, that's where they got to be better right there, especially from Russ, your point guard, especially 1 minute left to go. Get to the free throw line at least. Don't settle for that long shot.
That was settling. That's why I'm tough on Westbrook. That's it. That's the moment. The difference between your Matt Ryans and your Bradys are those minute left situations. The difference between winning and losing playoff games, situational basketball. Dude, you've been in the league 10 years. You've got to be better than that. All right, let me shift gears. Pro day today for Sam Darnold, USC quarterback, going to go number 1, I believe. I have heard something. I'm guilty of this. I'm very critical of Baker Mayfield. People are critical of Josh Rosen, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Sam Darnold. We pick apart all these quarterbacks. And in the process, we take really good players, college quarterbacks, pick. And then we elevate other players around them. And it's like, no, the other players have faults too, and we're being overly critical of quarterbacks. As I've said before, I think Darnold, Rosen, and Baker Mayfield will all have some level of success. Josh Allen, Wyoming, Lamar Jackson, I draft later. They need to sit out a year. The longer they sit out and learn, the greater their chances for success. But I'll give you a prime example. So everybody today is going to nitpick the quarterbacks. Darnold will get nitpicked today. Saquon Barkley is now the golden child. You can't criticize him. He's amazing. He is a lock. He can't fail. Okay, let's play the game with Saquon Barkley. Here's 5 reasons not to draft Saquon Barkley. He averaged under 3 yards per game in 3 games, 2 of them against Indiana and Rutgers. Under 3 yards a carry. He only had 5 games over 100 yards. He had the most yards lost by a running back last year in college football. Even with him and a good quarterback and a really great play caller, they were 58th in the country in rushing and 6th in the Big Ten. And here's an interesting one if you examine Saquon Barkley. His best 3 games, the opener rested, bowl game rested, cupcake, Georgia State before a big game. This is not a guy capable of 26 carries 1 week in the NFL, 29 the next, picking up blitzes, 7 catches 1 week, 4 the next. He is not a bulldozer. We have so nitpicked the quarterbacks, and Sam Darnold works out today. We have elevated other players who have just as many holes. Saquon Barkley is much more Reggie Bush than he is Ezekiel Elliott. And for the record, I like Reggie Bush. I would have had no problem drafting Reggie Bush. Here's Joel Klatt, who will be at Darnold's Pro Day, discussing Saquon Barkley, who outside of Klatt, everybody thinks is an absolute can't-miss player with no holes.
No, I think that the narrative that Barkley is an every down, control the game back is a bit false. He was a home run hitter. This is not a control the game from the backfield back. He's an immense talent, but he's much more Christian McCaffrey than he is Leonard Fournette. Should Saquon Barkley or any running back be selected number 1 overall in any NFL draft? Absolutely not.
Thank you. I'll say it again. The New York Giants are making a mistake passing on a quarterback when they have a 37-year-old quarterback. I'm not saying Eli Manning can't play for the next 2 years. Nate Solder, left tackle, will certainly help. But this nitpicking of quarterbacks, Barkley's your can't-miss guy. He could very well in the NFL be a tremendous Reggie Bush-level, home run hitting, situational guy. I just picked 5 holes that as a scout, you'd have to at least acknowledge. There is no perfect player, and these quarterbacks are better than the critics are saying, and Barkley's not as good as all the analysts are predicting. Coming up next, it was so bad, so clickbait, so ridiculous that I'm actually embarrassed for my former employer. It was as bad as it gets. Clickbait, PC, check the boxes. There are 5 dominant athletes in the world, and nobody is close to those 5. I'll discuss ESPN's top 20 athletes of the top 20 years list, which was so egregiously bad, it has to be at least discussed. Every day, I come in and we're talking about what went on in the world of sports. But what we're talking about is efficiency and endurance. You should apply those measures to the products you buy. And I just replaced the filters in my home. I did 2 days ago. Filter Buy is America's leading provider of HVAC filters for homes, hospitals, and small businesses. They have 600 different filter sizes, including custom options. All ship within 24 hours, and this is cool, all ship free. And they're manufactured in America. Pollen, mold, dust, your allergies, anything that aggravates you or is just, frankly, unhealthy, limit it and create efficiency in your system. Save time and money. Go to filterbybui.com. Breathe better, filterby.com. By the way, you can set up auto delivery and get 5% off. Filter, B-U-Y, filterby.com.